Hello children, how are you today? I hope everyone is doing well and you are up to date with all your work, your classwork, your homework, even your co-curricular activities. I hope you've done that. Have you? Yes, I'm sure all my loving children have done all their work properly. And if by chance you were not well, you could not do it, doesn't matter, you still have time. But remember, as I always tell you, a moment wasted is a moment lost. So once again, I'm back with the value education class. And you see, what were we studying on the previous day? We were studying environmental awareness. But now the page number is different. Look at that. It's page number 27 that we've got to study today. So all of you, please take out page number 27. Okay. Now, in the previous class, I told you a lot about our environment. There are many things which come to us free of cost. Now, today we are going to look at trees. And today we are going to look at why should we save trees. When you save trees, children, you save the environment. Because when you think about it, everything that comes to us comes from trees. Now let me show you that. See that. Care for plants. We should care for plants. Why? Because plants are very useful to us in many ways. I'm sure you've been studying about plants and trees in environmental studies also, children. And your teacher of EVS might have already told you that trees are so important for mankind, for us. Why? Because trees play a big role in bringing rains. Without trees, the climate would be drier and hotter. So if we have many trees, we have lots of rain. In Kerala, we have many trees. And because we have many trees, we have lots of rain. And then trees are home to different birds and different animals. And also to different insects. Trees take in carbon dioxide and give us oxygen. And you have studied in your EVS, oxygen is needed for us to breathe. We take in oxygen and we give out carbon dioxide. Trees take away all that bad carbon dioxide and give us back more oxygen. So are trees good for us? Yes. And so should we plant more trees? Definitely. So trees give out oxygen, which is very important for human life. And now let's look this side. Trees give us medicine which can cure us when we are sick. So you have many trees and all of you are living here in Kerala. You might have heard of Ayurvedam, isn't it? Ayurvedam uses trees, all kinds of parts of the trees to make medicines. The neem tree, the tulasi, all these plants are very useful to us. They help us when we are sick. Yes, trees protect the soil from crumbling. Do you know, children, what's the meaning of crumbling? Crumbling means breaking, becoming dry and breaking. If there were no trees, the land would become dry and the land would begin to break and slip away. And that's what we call landslides. So trees are those elements of nature which help to prevent landslides. If trees were not there, there would be a problem. There would be many landslides. The land would slip away and the houses which we have on the land, even those would slip away and be destroyed. So trees give us fruits and vegetables. Why do you need fruits and vegetables? Fruits and vegetables give you energy, isn't it? They are full of minerals and vitamins. And trees provide shade, and trees help to keep the temperature low. They help to keep the temperature down. So trees are very useful to us all. Now, when you turn your page, this is what you're going to see. The benefits that trees give us, and even more than the ones mentioned, but people cut them down for different parts, for their parts, destroy the forest to build big buildings and also complexes. Complexes would mean so many buildings together in one complex, and also to create new cities. So every single day millions of trees are being cut down, hacked down. Why? In order to make new cities, new buildings, new complexes for human beings, for us. Trees are home to many kinds of birds and tiny animals. Cutting down the trees would mean spoiling their homes. So where will the birds make their nest if there is no tree? And birds and animals that rely on trees. The meaning of rely, children? The meaning of rely is depend. Plants give shelter to many birds and animals. Trees help them to build their homes and live there. They have to shift to other localities. They have to move away to other places, to other areas, because there are no trees left in a certain place. And ultimately, this affects mankind too. So human beings will also be affected if there are no trees. Like I told you, trees take in oxygen and give us, trees take in carbon dioxide and give us back oxygen. So if you have more trees, you have more oxygen for proper breathing. If there's less oxygen in the atmosphere, it would be difficult to breathe. And if the air were polluted, the air were full of dust and germs, then we would be breathing dust and germs. And only trees can remove these dust and germs. Only trees can remove the dust and germs by giving fresh air, by giving us oxygen. So children, understanding this fact is the first step towards saving the trees. If you understand the importance of trees, then only can we save the trees. We should save trees to save our earth. So that we can live without disturbing nature. So remember, everyone has to live in the same place together, not against each other. So if you're cutting trees, then you're making a problem for yourself. Now let me show you a small video. What's the name of my video, children? Save trees to save our earth. children, did you enjoy that video? And what did you see there? Did you enjoy it? What did you see there? In the video you saw a man was trying to cut a tree, but that little baby tiger showed him that when you cut the trees, what will happen? The birds will not have a place to have their nests, to make their babies. And so the man understood that what I'm doing is not correct. So remember, once again I'm repeating, save trees to save our earth. And now we have a wonderful story here. The name of the story, The Garden. Let's read it together. Long, long ago, there lived a king. What was his name, children? Rajveera. There was a king who had a huge empire with beautiful palaces and forts. So, this king, with his huge kingdom, big kingdom, he had so many palaces and forts. The prettiest of them was his magnificent garden. So, there are some meanings that we need to write down. So, let me just write them for you. Okay, so children, I have my book here. The first word that you have to write is huge. And the meaning of huge? Very simple, big. And then you have the second word. What is the second word? Empire. Please underline that in your book with a properly sharpened pencil, and then write the answer, write the meaning just above. So empire means kingdom. Now another word, magnificent. What is the meaning of magnificent, children? Magnificent means wonderful. Okay, so let's come back to where I was reading. I'll show you the page. Here it is. So, the prettiest of them was his magnificent garden, his wonderful garden. People came from far and wide to see and enjoy its beauty and peace. The garden was so peaceful, there was no sound at all in the garden. King Rajveera was proud of his possession. What's the meaning of possession, children? His property. He was very proud of his garden. But he did not like the mango tree that stood in the middle of his garden. Why did he not like that mango tree? And he also wanted to remove it from the garden. And you know something? He removed it from the garden. And in place of the mango tree, he put there a fountain. He put a fountain instead. So, he wanted it to be removed as the leaves were falling all around the garden and littering the garden. So, what do you think will be the meaning of littering, children? Let me write that. Write this down. Underline it and write it down. Littering means spoiling. So children, what did this king do? He did not like the mango leaves lying all around the garden. So he got the mango tree itself removed. And in place of the mango tree, he has built a fountain, which made the garden even more beautiful. Now, the garden had visitors from the neighboring kingdoms as well. So people enjoyed to see that garden, and many people from different places came to see the garden. So King Rajveera provided every facility to his visitors to stay in his empire and enjoy its beauty. So when visitors came from outside, other states, other places, other countries, King Rajveera would give them a place to stay, and he would look after them, and he would allow them to enjoy the beauty of his garden. Among the visitors, there was a 12-year-old boy named Kush. Now don't forget this child's name. His name is Kush. And how old is he? He's 12 years old. One morning, he went for a stroll in the garden. Now children, what is the meaning of that word stroll? So, what is the meaning of stroll? It means walk. So the king and this boy, Kush, they were walking in the garden. And then what happened, children? King Rajveera felt that the boy was not interested in the garden. When the king inquired, now inquired, it means asked. When the king asked, he replied that the garden was too peaceful, so silent, no sound anywhere. There were no birds and no other animals in the garden. That was the reply of Kush. Now, if you hear someone giving you a piece of advice, if someone tells you that this is not good, you can do it like this. You could have two reactions to that. One is you would be happy. Okay, you're giving me a good idea, so I'll take it. But you know, the other reaction is you get angry. So that's what happened with the king. The king was not happy to hear the comment of this boy. And you know what the king did, children? He punished Kush. Now I'm stopping here for today, but when I see you again, we will be continuing with this chapter. So till then, take care and stay happy.